Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today is a special video. IGN was given a few preview cards for the upcoming Lord of the Rings set, including a new Izzet legend, Gandalf the Grey. Of course I had to drop what I was doing and knock out a deck real quick. It's Gandalf.
Not the Wandering Wizard.
Well, before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Gandalf the Grey is a 5-mana 3/4 legendary avatar wizard. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery, we choose one of 4 abilities that hasn't been chosen. We can untap or tap a permanent, have Mithrandir deal 3 damage to each opponent, copy an instant or sorcery spell that we control and choose new targets if we desire, or put Gandalf the Grey on top of his owner's library. I love the reference to Gandalf randomly disappearing, which he did numerous times throughout The Hobbit. This is not Gandalf the White.
Look to my coming, at first light on the 5th day. At dawn, look to the east. Go.
Who turns the tide of battle. This is the Grey Pilgrim, Stormcrow, the Wandering Wizard. If he is needed elsewhere, he will go. But the idea that we can just slip Gandalf the Grey to the top of our library to save him from board wipes and spot removal seems great to me. We just need to ensure that we have enough instants to do so in our time of need. So this will be an Izzet Spellslinger deck. I know, big surprise. Danon is making another Izzet Spellslinger deck. But can you blame me? I've been a fan of Tolkien's work for long before Magic the Gathering even existed. In fact, my name Danon is Quenya for my real name. But before we get to our deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Steam Vents, Training Center, Storm-Carved Coast, Sulphur Falls, Volatile Fjord, Molten Tributary, Shivan Reef, Izzet Boiler Works, Myriad Landscape, Scavenger Grounds, Mystic Sanctuary, 12 Islands, and 9 Mountains. Stormkiln Artist for Treasure Generation, Goblin Electromancer, Sapphire Medallion, Ruby Medallion, and Primal Amulet for cost reduction, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Fire Diamond, Sky Diamond, Izzet Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Thought Vessel, Chromatic Lantern, Thrawn Dynamo, and Gilded Lotus for mana rocks. Because Gandalf can untap a permanent, I wanted a couple mana rocks that could tap for more than 1 mana. Stroke of Genius, Blue Sun's Zenith, Pull from Tomorrow, Archmage Emeritus, Firemind's Foresight, Big Score, Mystical Tutor, Solve the Equation, Seagate Restoration, and Rhystic Study make up our card advantage package. Mindswipe, Abrade, Chaos Warp, Negate, Counterspell, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Wash Away, Unwind, Pongify, and Commit Memory handle our interaction and spot removal. Curse of the Swine, Cyclonic Rift, Washout, and Blasphemous Act. Seems like a lot, but we're in Spellslinger. We need to be able to clear the board. Seething Song, Jeska's Will, Mana Geyser, Brass's Bounty, Desperate Ritual, and Pyretic Ritual all help us to cast our big spells. And they're great to copy with Gandalf or any of the other effects we may have. Frantic Search, Opt, Consider, Thought Scour, Visions of Beyond, Peak, Quicken, and Turnabout all work great in our Spellslinger deck, and any of them can be used to help save Gandalf in a pinch. Crackle with Power, Expansion Explosion, Comet Storm, Jaya's Immolating Inferno, and Electro Dominance all serve as our win cons. Gandalf is a wizard after all, gotta bring the pyrotechnics. Thousand Year Storm belongs in all Spellslinger decks, and Swarm Intelligence isn't too far behind in use. Veyron, Voice of Duality, lets Gandalf trigger twice, as does Harmonic Prodigy. Ral, Storm Conduit, isn't a potential win con in our deck, but it does add quite a bit of damage, especially if we can cast a big Storm King's Thunder. Finally, Reiterate for even more spell copy shenanigans. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 34 lands, 1 MDFC, and 15 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 10 pieces of card advantage plus 8 cantrips, 10 pieces of spot removal, 4 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, 1 sudden I win card in Thousand Year Storm. No, seriously, do not ever let the Spellslinger player untap with a Thousand Year Storm. I tap Gilded Lotus for 3 mana, cast Opt, use Gandalf's ability to untap my Gilded Lotus, cast Mana Geyser, use Gandalf's ability to deal 3 damage to each opponent, adding 20 mana to my mana pool, then cast Jaya's Immolating Inferno where X equals 15, leaving mana floating for a cantrip or a counterspell. Oh, and I use Gandalf's ability to copy it again, so there are now 4 copies of Jaya's Immolating Inferno on the stack, each one dealing 15 damage to each opponent. But even without Thousand Year Storm, we can set up a scary turn by copying Brass's Bounty a couple of times, giving us a ton of mana to win with a Crackle of Power. I really like this deck, and I'm excited to see what other cards WotC has in store for us. Are you a Lord of the Rings fan? Which characters from the series are you excited to see? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my Nerd Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix Device, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, Olton, Richard, Pop Zombie, and Ing. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.